In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make your own rabbit water system. These are all the items you are going to need to do your rabbit water bucket system. Today, my husband is going to show you how to assemble it. So using a 3/4 inch hole saw, he is going to drill it into the bottom of the bucket. You could do this inside to easily catch all the plastic little pieces. But if you're doing it outside, you do want to make sure that you catch them and discard them so that your birds don't eat it. From there, he is taking a 1/2 inch conduit hub and putting that into the bottom of the bucket into the hole he drilled. And just make sure that you screw the conduit hub in nice and tight as to not let any water leak out. From here, he grabbed the 1.5 to 3/8 reducer and he's going to put Teflon tape around it. So he wraps the Teflon tape around a few times, and this will help to make sure that it is watertight. He's going to screw the reducer into the conduit hub. And using a crescent wrench, he's just going to tighten it up. And now he's going to apply more Teflon tape around the 1/4 inch hose barb. Then he goes ahead and he works the hose barb into the reducer using the wrench to make sure it is nice and tight. During this next step, he trades out the 3/4 inch hole saw for a 1 1/4 inch hole saw to drill a hole at the top of the bucket so that we can put water into the bucket. Next comes hanging the bucket. So he is taking two 2-inch screw hooks and he's creating an indent into the 2x4 of where it is he wants to drill the holes in the 2x4. From there, he's taking the drill with a new drill bit in and he is screwing out where the screw hooks will go. Once he has finished drilling the holes for the 2 screw hooks, he is putting the screw hooks in. And so then he is using a needle nose plier to help with turning them in so that they're nice, tight, and secure. So we're spacing these screw hooks around 3 to 4 inches apart from one another so that they can hold the bucket up in a stable fashion. One in which the bucket doesn't tilt side to side. It pretty much just hangs in one static spot. From there, you just want to hang your bucket. And after hanging the bucket, you'll see that we have the hose barb right down at the bottom of the bucket, and now we are going to put the vinyl tubing into the barb hook. Now it takes a little force. You got to get a little aggressive with it to get it in there. But also want to highlight the reason that we use the black vinyl tube is because clear tubing can tend to get algae in it. So we find that this is a better way to prevent algae from building up inside of the tubes. Now the next step is to cut the vinyl tubing with some needle nose pliers. It's important to make note that you are going to want to clean this bucket out because it will get dirty. So something you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure you have enough slack between the bucket and the first rabbit that you are going to water so that you can pull the bucket down and the slack won't be too taut and make it difficult for you to clean the bucket. From there, you're kind of just eyeballing to see how long you really need the tubing to be.
Well, I'm gonna tee off of it.
Okay.
So this should be okay.
Next, he grabs the rabbit nipple and he affixes it to a spring that came in the pack that the nipple was in. And this spring will secure to the rabbit cage. Using the needle nose pliers, he now is cutting the tube for the first water nipple. From here, he is putting in a little T that will allow for the water not only to flow to the first rabbit, but also flow to the rabbit below her. You may find that it is proving to be a little difficult to drive these items into the vinyl tube. So you can use a lighter to warm it up to make it a little more pliable and make it easier to put these in. Certainly, you are releasing some kind of gnarly chemicals when you're doing this, so try not to breathe it in. Next, take the other end of the tube and warm it up so that you can put it inside of the T. Make sure you screw it down all of the way, making sure that the black vinyl tubing is as far on to the red as possible. Once you're done with that, you are going to cut another small piece of tube, about 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches in length. And one end is going to affix to the T, and the other one is going to affix to the nipple. So here he is heating it up to make it a little bit more pliable. Now he's going to drive the nipple into one end, and into the other end he will drive the T through. And be sure that when you're doing this too, these little red pieces can be kind of bendy in a way, and in a way that they could break. So you want to be tough but also gentle. Now he's heating up the bottom tubing that comes from the bottom of the T. And he's heating this up because he is going to just put a nipple directly onto that piece. Using needle nose pliers, now is the time to take the spring and the water nipple and secure it to the cage. So that's exactly what he is doing here. Now when it comes to filling your water buckets, we use a dram watering wand. Normally the heads of the wand can just unscrew. Ours actually broke off, so then we ended up just sawing it off. But to fill it up, you just stick it right in the hole, and then you'll know you have overfilled it when water is pouring out. And we've been using these watering systems since we started raising rabbits. This is the first one that we've ever built, and as you can see, we have the nipple coming out the side instead of on the bottom. And also, you can use these water bucket systems for your rabbit tractor. So that is how to create your own water bucket system for your rabbits. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like this video, and feel free to comment below if you are going to apply this method for watering your rabbits. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.